Oh yeah, we'll do this and we'll be there and we'll do. Oh, hello, lovely people. Forgot you were there. Are you ready for Easter? Are you ready for your Easter egg? There's no calories. No calories. And you don't have to go and look for it because I'm going to send it to you. This is your walkthrough of your Easter patterns. If you're not on my email list, I'm sorry. A lot of them you can work out what I'm doing. One or two of them might be slightly more difficult. But if you are on my email list, you get a free pattern every month. And this is my talk through. If you haven't met me on the internet, my name is Kitten and I help beginner knitters knit. We have a tiny little independent knitting shop in Kendal. So follow us, like us, and subscribe. We're looking for magic numbers. And here's to Easter.
Down a little alley in the heart of Kendal town is a tiny independent yarn shop. Welcome to the wonderful world of the kitten and the goat.
Going to make a chain string to decorate our tree with. This is good for Christmas as well. Plus anything else you want to decorate. It's just one stitch. It's like a crochet chain, but you're doing it with knitting needles. You just knit one, put it back, knit one, put it back. It's great fun worked in a textured yarn. I'm doing this in just the plain simple double knitting so you can see it. Knit one, put it back. But if you do this in a fluffy or a chenille yarn, the plush yarns or the tinsel, you'll get a string to decorate your tree with. And of course, literally, you just keep going, you knit one, and you knit one. I could get addicted to stand here for hours doing this. Such fun. Just knit one. Just keep going till you're sick of the sight of it. Right, we're going to make some fun little dingly-dangly trailing pretty things. See? You get the best technical explanations round here, I tell you. Sorry, I'm just faffing about with this stitch, trying to get it in the right place. This is... It used to be called teddy bear stitch. These days it seems to be called loop stitch, but it's the same thing. Doesn't matter how many stitches you have cast on, you can work it on every stitch if you want lots of loopy bits, or every other stitch for not so many. If you've never done this before, I would suggest you do your first couple doing every other stitch, just because you've got more room to work the stitch. Right, you cast on, your first row is a knit stitch because you need to set a base out. Now, your first stitch is pretty much always a knit stitch in these things. Your second stitch, you're going to do your knit, you're going to take it through, but you're going to leave it here, hang on to it. Okay, you're going to bring this forward, put your thumb on it, and take it back. So you've created a great big loop. You're going to knit into that stitch that you first did. You're going to pick up your first stitch that you worked into it and get rid of it because you don't want to. You see you've got a little loopy bit. Now I'm just going to knit this. You'll be able to see it. You're going to put the point of your needle in, you're going to knit it but not take it off the needle. You're going to bring your yarn right forward, put your thumb on it, take it over your thumb, wrap it round your thumb, work into the same stitch again. You're going to take this, that'll lock it, and that's it. You see how that's spread out? Whereas if you did it every one, you get more loops. So we're going to knit it, spread it out. We're going to make the loop, not taking it off the needle, bringing that through, putting our thumb on it to hold it, wrap it round and work again in that stitch. Lock over, that locks a stitch in place. See a little loop starting to form? And in this case, and I don't often say this, when you cast this off, you're going to cast off straight away. Cast off as tightly as you can, because in this case you want this twirlies to get tight and twisted. Okay, that's your teddy bear stitch. Well, I can't call it that now, can it? It's a loop stitch. Do a knit, don't let it go, yarn forward, put your thumb on it, yarn back, knit, and then slip the first stitch that you worked in that set over. That locks it all in place. Okay, just keep going like that, and it doesn't matter how many stitches you have in the row. You could have the top bit plain and then have your little tassely tails at the bottom. Have long ones, short ones, great big long ones. That would be fun, great big long one. Work it however you want it. Okay. Looking at our cross, the only thing you may need to know if you've never done it before is how to cast on at the beginning of the row for the little crossbar. It is exactly what it says on the tin. You put your needle through there and we're going to cast on 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to start straight away knitting those 5. I was a bit too relaxed when I started, so it's a bit gappy. Then we just keep going. Oh, I don't know if you can hear it, the jets are out flying today. Fabulous, I love seeing the jets. When you get to the end of the row, we're going to turn round and we're going to do exactly the same this side. So we're going to cast on 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to work our rows for the bar and then we're going to cast off 5 at the beginning of the row, go right the way to the end, turn round, cast off 5 and just work again in the little centre section for your top piece. It's that simple. Now I'm sorry, but is that not just the stinkingest cute little thing in the whole universe? You can get 3 of those little tiny mini eggs You might even get 5 in there, I can't remember how big they are. And you should be able to get one of the larger chocolate eggs. I don't think you'll get one as big as a Cadbury's egg, the cream egg sizes, but there's a smaller size than that, isn't there, with the chocolate. You'll be able to get that and hang it up with it. Oh, it's just so adorable. It is really easy to, whoa, line myself properly in my spot. We've cast on. We need to do our quick growth to get the base, so we're going into the front. Gosh, whatever are they doing out there? And the back, knit into the front, take it round. Don't skimp on giving yourself space to work. Go into the front, and then we go into the back, and we go front and back. And now we're going to start this clever little woven pattern. It is actually just moss stitch. Moss stitch is, it's like knit one, purl one, rib, but you move the stitch over, so instead of getting a straight line you get the checkerboard. Yes, you can do a garter stitch, you prefer. It's not quite as stable, that's why they use a moss stitch, because moss stitch is a very strong structure. It holds itself together better. I dare say the chocolate eggs won't last long enough for anybody to stress the basket, and I dare say if it stretches a bit and they get an extra one, I don't think anybody will mind. But if you struggle with knit one, purl one, and you just want to warm up a little bit, you can just do it in garter stitch. As I say, the only difference is this moss stitch gives it strength. It's the same whenever you work a moss stitch pattern. It gives it stability. I don't know why, it must be something to do with taking the yarn back and forward and running it through around the stitches, stabilises it a bit more. Right, so we're going to get to the end of the row doing knit one, purl one. Because once you've done two knits in every stitch, you've suddenly got a lot of stitches on the needle. So it takes a good minute to get back. Right, so we're finishing with that purl. On the way back, where you've got the flat bits, you want to pull the bump forward. Where you've got the bump, you want to push the bump back. So your first stitch will be a purl, there's the bump, so you want to put it at the back, there's the gap. So if I go slowly, you'll see the bump coming forward. There's the bump. That's what gives you the basket weave texture. Like that. I think I'll just stand here all afternoon and make cute little baskets. Okay, on to the next one. If you've been with me for any length of time, you'll be an absolute whiz at creating curvy bottoms and rounded shapes. But if you found me through YouTube, fresh, you might not know this. Plus, we're doing the first one on a purl row, and purl is slightly different to a knit. We've cast on for our Easter egg, we've knitted a row, and we're going to purl into the front and then into the back of every stitch. So we're going to purl into the front, but to get to the back you've actually got to slip that off, put that on there, and then purl it again. Use this thumb, this nail, to hang on to this so it doesn't go skidding off the end. Oh, we're purling, aren't we? We're going to purl into the front, dead easy, slip it off, pick up the back of the purl stitch, and then we're going to purl into the back. Okay, we're going to purl into the front, slip it off, pick up the back, and then we're going to purl again. Let's see, can I get any closer? Because that little tail's getting in the way, isn't it? We're going to purl into the front, slip it off. This bit here, you're going to pick up back on the needle, bring the point round, put it in again, and purl it. So you're purling in to the front, you're going to look for the back, and you're going to purl into the back. This hand is hanging on quite tightly because there's not very many stitches, so we're going to purl front, take it round, and back. You can't change and cheat and do that on a knit stitch because in the next row we're going to be increasing on a knit row. But this time we're going to do it every other row, every other stitch. We're going to knit one, going to knit into the front, going to take the point right the way round, pull the work down with these fingers so you can get into the back, and slip it off. Work slowly and carefully. You cannot rush this when you've got a lot of tight stitches packed onto your needle, because the whole lot just goes skidding off the end. And just ask me how I know that. So we're going to knit into the front. Don't skimp, take your needle right the way round to the back, because you've got to get in this back. Not that one. That one there. You've got to get in there. Yeah? So that's front back. We're going knit one plain, knit into the front, and then the back. You shape like that. I should do that, and then we'll show you how to change colour yarn. If you want to make a stripy egg, you don't have to, of course. It is marked in the pattern where to change, but just drop that yarn. Row 7 is, leave yourself a tail. Row 7 is knit 3. Keep this tight. Okay, and just start. One, 2, 3. Knit into the front, knit into the back. 1, 2, 3. Knit into the front, knit into the back. 1, 2, 3, knit into the front, knit into the back. 1, 2, 3, and front and back. 1, 2, 3. Yep, we're lining up to finish in the right place. And back. 1, 2, 3. Front. Back. Take this yarn, make sure it's snug, and this yarn, and make sure it's snug, and just put a single knot in there to hold it together while you carry on with your knitting. Little tip, count your stitches before you do the next row, and then you'll know if you've got enough stitches. So the next row is just purl. I've done my purl row. You can see I've come back to where I started, and this is our first colour. Come here, little monkey. So to get your stripe, you drop that one, pick out your other colour, and literally you just start working. When you've only got a two row pattern change, you don't need to do anything at the sides to avoid loops and to anchor things in. You just pick it up from the one before and you keep going. Once you start getting deeper stripes or blocks of colour, then you start to need to do things about looking after the side. But as you're only going there and back, that's it. There's such a tiny little bit at the side that it doesn't matter. So that's how you get your stripe and your eggs. You can do them plain, you can do the top one colour, you can do half and half, you can do the top and bottom of colour, and the one in the middle a different colour. Just go mad with a riot of colour. They're so simple to do. You know, get all your scraps and bits out and just go wild. I think I made the mistake of using some soft, gentle spring colours for some of the videos, and they don't show up on the tree when I photographed them, so I've overcompensated like you do, and we're making the plant pot in bright yellow. This is cables. It's very simple, it's all broken down for you. It increases and you've got a cable. It's all done in small chunky blocks. So the first row we do is we lay out the foundation row. So we're going to, where are we? Let's get you up where we should be. 1, we're going to purl 2, we're going to knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Purl 2. I'll get myself caught on myself. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is your foundation row. 1, 2. Your cable crossovers are always worked on the knit rows, so these big blocks of 4 are going to be your cable. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you lay out your foundation right there. You could just do columns. If you want to just do columns, that looks equally pretty. You could just do columns. I'm going to work this until I've got enough to show you the cable row. Right, we've set out a couple of rows and you can see where your columns are going to be forming. So this is the row that we're going to put the cable on. Your purl 2 is your little dividing texture. You need something to break up between where the cables are. And it's only a little bitty skinny cable. So, ooh, I knew that was going to happen. Let's wedge it. Wedge it with a ball or wedge it close to your tummy or something. It seems to be a bit awkward today. Right, so we're knitting. We're going to slip those 2 stitches off. We're going to put them behind the work out of the way. And we're going to knit 2. We're going to put those back on the yarn. And we're going to knit them. Like that. Right, let's show you that funny little thing. This is a cable needle. Cable needles aren't particularly sized. They come in small, medium and large basically. You're not working on the needle. The size of the needle does not matter. I've been known to use safety pins, cocktail sticks, fine crochet hooks, bamboo skewers, another knitting needle, anything. Literally all you're doing is putting the stitches out of the way so you can work the next ones in the line. So here we've got our 2 purl, see the little bumps? We're doing 1, 2 purl, taking our cable needle, we're going to slip 2 off, put behind, work those, put this back like that. That's it. And carry on along every plain patch, you cross them over. Once you've done the pattern once, you can start messing about. I mean, if you're not confident enough the first time round to do the cables, just knit the columns. Next time, do the cables. Do a cable every other column. You know, it's fun. The first, let me see, yeah, it's all laid out for you. It literally is laid out row by row what you have to do on your pattern. So just follow along, do what it says, and you'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, that's your plant pot. Oh, and if you want to make it bigger, did I work out what this fitted? I can't remember. No, I'll think about the size later when I've done it. It's worked in these blocks of 6. So if you want a bigger plant pot, put more. I've got another column of 6. If you want a great big chunky one for a big plant pot, work it in a chunky yarn. Yeah, go mad, cover all the pots. They look great actually, with cotton wool balls in them, or for a Mother's Day gift, put the sweeties in them, or you know, something like that, storage, that kind of thing. So that's your plant pot. Something you might not have done is increasing both ends of a row while working a pattern. It's very simple. You literally just increase a stitch, and then you look at your pattern. This is a lovely easy one to follow, so it's perfect to start you off. You've got 4 knits, 2 purls, so that's going to be a knit stitch, and then you're going into your pattern. 1, 2, and that brings you right. When you, oh dear gosh, excuse me. When you get to the other end, you're increasing again, and when you turn around, you've got 4 purls there, so this extra stitch is going to be a knit stitch. Just, I think it's every no, it's the 5th row in every block of patterns. It's all listed out. Just keep adding stitches, include them in the pattern, and when you get enough to start the cabling in with it, then cable in with it as well, and your pattern will gradually grow out at the side. Because your flower pots are shaped, you need it to be a V shape. Okay? There we go, lovely people. That's a quick little run through of the patterns in the Easter egg collection for this year. Any problems, drop me an email. If you're late to the party, that one I can send out to you. If you join the email list late and you've missed it and you want it, can't always do it with the Christmas one for various reasons. We'd be thrilled if you get in touch. If there's something you want me to cover, I'm starting to cover customer requests now. I've got quite a little list of things coming up. Just let me know what you want, interact, send us a like, anything. We're here to help you. And we'll see you next month. Ooh, no we won't. We'll see you in a couple of weeks for the technique. Now that one coming up's a bit fun and a bit sneaky, so we'll see you in a couple of weeks for the technique.